We're ready? All right, I'd like to welcome everyone to the February 3rd, 2020 meeting of the Delaware County Board of Commissioners. Would you please join me in the pledge?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. I'm Jeff Benton, President of the Board. To my right is our Vice President, Gary Merrill, and to his right is our Administrator, Mike Fromer. To my left is fellow Commissioner Barb Lewis, and our clerk today is Jennifer Walraven. We can start.
Resolution number 20-113, in the matter of approving the electronic record of proceedings from regular meeting held January 27th, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 20-113. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
We do not have any public comment today, so that brings us to item number 3, resolution number 20-114, in the matter of approving purchase orders and announced certificates and payments of warrants in batch number CM APR 0131.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 20-114. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 20-115, in the matter of approving travel expense request.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 20-115. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 20-116, in the matter of granting the petition of Grosinger Golf Enterprises Incorporated and John D. Wright for detachment of 260.56 acres, more or less, from the village of Galena to the township of Brookshire.
Second.
Discussion? If anybody wants to talk about this, is unusual. We have a detachment, but this property was being planned for a project, and they're moving away from it, so they're moving back out of the village of Galena. It's an unusual transaction, but,
Definitely.
okay. Vote.
Vote on motion 20-116. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 20-117, in the matter of appointing a deputy apiarist and approving an agreement with Dan Curtis for apiary inspection services for 2020.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Vote.
Vote on motion 20-117. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 20-118, in the matter of setting date, time for the viewing and public hearing for consideration of the Pither number 377 drainage maintenance petition.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Vote.
Vote on motion 20-118. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill? Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 2119, in the matter of approving a supplemental appropriation for the Treasurer's Office.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Treasurer Ringel, any remarks? You don't have to.
Well, I'll keep them very brief. This is anticipation of some investment reporting services, so I would appreciate the resolution being approved.
Okay. Yeah, as we've talked, we really get very sketchy reporting today, very high levels,
The reporting
streamlined
leaves something to
reporting.
be desired.
Yeah, and so this makes a lot of sense, and it is a month-to-month contract, so if we can get the brokers to provide this sort of reporting on an ongoing basis, then that'd be good. So appreciate you leading this effort, and it'll certainly help us in our management of the investment portfolio.
Thank you and Commissioner Lewis for your support and participation with the advisory committee as well.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right, vote.
Vote on motion 20-119. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 20-120, in the matter of authorizing the use of Delaware County safety grant funds to purchase EMS fitness equipment for the Emergency Medical Services Department.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Good morning, Commissioners. Assistant Chief Cochran, Delaware County EMS, and paramedic Andrew Lund. He's in the lead on the fitness program. The resolution before you today is to purchase fitness equipment for all of our EMS stations using the safety grant funds from the county's workers' compensation self-insurance funds. We applied to the Safety Grant Committee, and they've approved the purchase. The purchase will include low-impact core exercise equipment, treadmill, a rower, and the total cost will not exceed $55,000. Training will be provided to reduce the potential for injury. The captains and the medic crews will be required to perform 45 minutes of exercise per 24-hour shift. Physically fit first responders are less likely to get injured, and they perform better patient care, and they take care of their body and their mind. I'd be happy to answer any questions if you have any.
This does go in all 10 stations, correct?
Correct.
Okay, that's good to see. Or all 11 stations, I guess, now, so.
Staff's on board with the concept?
Yes, and we've met with the union several times to discuss it.
Yeah, we really appreciate the initiative on this. This is one of
Yes.
those findings from the Fitch report that we need to just focus on fitness. So it's great to see the effort going forward.
Your support. Andrew has also done a great deal of work on this project, research and quotes and testing. So thank you so much.
Okay,
You're welcome.
all right, vote.
Vote on motion 20-120. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 20-121, in the matter of approving right-of-way work permit summary sheet.
Second.
Discussion?
Morning, Commissioners. Rob Riley, Chief Deputy Engineer. These are all standard utility permits for work in the right-of-way, and we're recommending approval.
Okay, vote.
Vote on motion 20-121. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 20-122, in the matter of approving modification number 1 to a cooperative right-of-way acquisition and utility relocation agreement with the City of Columbus for improvements to South Old State Road.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion?
The City of Columbus has requested this amendment to the original right-of-way acquisition agreement. This reflects the increased costs that were incurred in acquiring the right-of-way within the City of Columbus. The city will be reimbursing us the amounts that are reflected in this agreement.
So we paid them initially, and now they're,
Yes.
All right, vote.
Vote on motion 20-122. Mr. Merrill?
aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 20-123, in the matter of authorizing the purchase of equipment for a county engineer's office along with a trade-in.
So moved.
Discussion?
We are requesting approval from your board to purchase some budgeted equipment, including a new front-end loader, trading in an old front-end loader, a 2007 model, as well as 4 new pickup trucks and one one-ton pickup truck that will be used for plowing and some light-duty hauling to job sites.
Okay, vote.
Vote on motion 20-123. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 20-124, in the matter of approving ditch maintenance petitions and ditch maintenance assessments for Hyatt's Road Crossing, North Star Goldwell Neighborhood, Sections 1 and 2, and Scioto Meadows South.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion?
This petition, or excuse me, these petitions would involve placing the storm sewer systems on our drainage maintenance program. The Hyatt's Crossing project is a 100-unit condo development located at Hyatt's and Sawmill, and then the Goldwell neighborhood is at North Star. That's 121 lots.
Okay, vote.
Vote on motion 20-124. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 20-125, in the matter of authorizing the county administrator to approve and execute zoning applications and other petitions in support of redevelopment and improvement of the Delaware County Fairgrounds.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Good morning, Commissioners. As you know, there's a lot of activity at the fairgrounds with the bed tax funds and looking at new buildings and including up some zoning and alley vacations and other things like that. This will allow, when we get those applications, the ability for you guys to review for a week and make any comments or feedback, and then we can execute them as not to delay their progress. So just requesting your approval.
Yeah, I know there have been a number of legal issues with subdivisions that were platted and alleys that were platted, and we've got to, and there are a whole bunch of different owners of different parcels out there, so this sort of thing really helps us move those projects along faster, so I think it makes a lot of sense.
In addition, I think that we're going to be planning an update meeting with the Fair Board to look at some of their projects and things that they're working on. So that'll happen, I think, in the next couple weeks, hopefully, so.
Yep. Okay, vote.
Vote on motion 20-125. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Any other reports?
I have no other reports.
That's it?
Yep.
Okay. Commissioner Merrill?
I only have one thing. I think I indicated in a prior meeting that I'm now in the course of board. I have my orientation tomorrow, which will be
Yeah.
about 4 hours, so I'll be educated tomorrow.
Yeah. I ran into Dan Dean at the Subco board meeting. He mentioned you're going to the AGRIP conference.
I
Yeah, supposedly, I haven't been to one, but I've heard it's
had
really
to
good.
redo my schedule to make that work, but we've done it, so.
Good, good. Okay. Mr. Lewis?
Yes, have a report. Speaking of the fair, I was talking with Representative Carfagna, and he wanted me to bring before you today a request for a local match. He and Representative Jordan have been working with the Fair Board, the Agricultural Society, and they have requested funding of $1 million a year, or $2 million for 2 years from the fiscal year 21-22 capital budget. And it would be basically for grandstand improvements. It may be for some other improvements dealing with the fair. So they have requested that we would match, give a $300,000 match
From the bed tax.
per year from the bed tax, or that would account, since we're talking 2 fiscal years, 21-22, it's a total of $600,000. It would come from the bed tax, and this is what the bed tax, this is what those monies should be going for, the fair.
Are they wanting a resolution or just a letter?
They will, I know Eric and I have discussed this. We can either do a letter, we need a resolution to do a letter, or if we need a resolution to do a resolution. So they just wanted something in writing that we could send over to them. Eric, any thoughts? What it?
Prepare a letter for the board to approve by resolution,
Okay,
have that at the next session, like it is.
okay, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I will not be here Thursday, so do we need to vote? Do I need to vote in session to show my support, that I support the letter of resolution?
If the board approves it, it's a letter from the board expressing support.
Okay,
His verbal statement today would indicate his support.
yeah.
I don't know the timing on this, if you wanted to wait until.
Does it need to be?
No, he would like it as soon as possible. There,
Yeah, that's fine.
It would be if we had the letter prepared today, you could vote on it today.
right, that's true. We are going into executive session too, so, and we can always come back. And yeah,
That'd be fine if we want to draft.
Sure.
We don't have anything drafted, do we, Jane?
Jennifer provided the one that we did for another, basically providing support.
sure. Oh, that's great. Yeah, then we could vote on it.
Yeah, I mean,
That would be
clearly, I support this. I think all
Sure.
three of us do, and the grandstand is in desperate need of improvements, and if we can get the state to help fund to total $2 million over 2 years, that could go a long, long way toward fixing the grandstand. It needs new restrooms, new elevator,
it's
a new,
Yeah,
it's
Fire
been
shake.
neglected for decades, and it really is the centerpiece of the jug and all the harness racing we do there. So
Right.
it's really an important facility at the fairgrounds, and I know they've got it in their plans, and if the state can help us achieve that sooner, then, that would just be wonderful.
I think this, the recognition on the part of the state that this is important to the whole state, not just Delaware
Right.
County. It is my understanding that the match is specific for the arena area. So that's,
Eric has the specifics, right. Representative Carfagna emailed some specifics to me, but yes, it is.
And using bed tax proceeds to fund the match makes all the sense too, because that's exactly what they're intended for. And the grandstand is a very high priority project for use of the bed tax funds, so this makes a lot of sense.
Right. Okay, great.
Get something drafted and hopefully have it ready by the end of executive session.
Well, we can always, if it's not quite ready, then we can always
Do it on
come
Thursday.
back early afternoon.
Jane's good under pressure. I have full confidence.
Right. She's probably got it done in her head already.
She probably has it done already, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
just thinking about it. And that's all I have.
Other comments? Just a couple things. I was at the SEBCO board meeting Friday, and where I ran into Dan Dean, who's on the Corsa board, and mentioned that Commissioner Merrill has joined that board, and I think will be a great representative to that board. Nothing really new in terms of big news at SEBCO. The biggest thing, I think, is that 2019, we didn't have final numbers yet, but turned out to be another very good year. Losses were consistent with prior years, which means they didn't go up much. So that bodes well for our renewal for next year. And one thing I pushed on was a capital policy. They're sitting on a lot of capital, which is all the counties who've been paying into the SEBCO. It's their funding that's provided this capital reserve. So we're trying to figure out how to manage capital going forward at SEBCO, which hopefully will help modify and, keep the rate increases down in future years. So, and then I did go to Sheila Perrin's retirement party Friday. That was a lot of fun. When I pulled up to the building, there were like 3 or 4 EMS ambulances out front, and I thought, oh my God, what's going on? We got something serious happening in our building. Then I realized, it's just everybody's here to celebrate Sheila, and we'll all miss Sheila.
well, I went to that as well, and she made a point to say she was very, very pleased with our comments the day before, and very, she'll be missed.
Yeah, I'll miss the golf conversations. Nobody else understood golf.
That's
like she did.
Oh, God.
She realizes it's not a matter of life and death. It's much more important than that. So, we do have need for executive
We
session.
do. Resolution number 20-126, in the matter of adjourning into executive session for consideration of employment compensation to consider, of a public employer or public official, to consider the purchase of property for public purposes, for a pending or imminent litigation, and for confidential information related to economic development.
So move.
Second?
Discussion? Vote?
Vote on motion 20-126. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye. We're in executive session. It would have been easier to list the things we didn't.
Resolution number 20-127, in the matter of adjourning out of executive session.
So move.
Second?
Discussion? Vote?
Vote on motion 20-127. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
And we do have an item for other business today, resolution number 20-128, in the matter of approving a letter pledging funds from the Delaware County Fairground bed tax to match funding from the state of Ohio.
So move.
Second.
Discussion?
I do have a question. It says to match funding. It's not really matching it dollar for dollar. Is there any chance that's misunderstood?
I don't, I see your point. I don't think so, because matches are always, or matches are most of the time, probably, I would say, not exactly.
And we
the
are
same.
specific.
We
on the
did
text.
we were specific about the amount, so, yeah, good point.
Yeah, good point.
I think we're okay.
Okay. Further discussion, we'll take a vote.
Vote on motion 20-128. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Okay, good to get that passed. Good job, Jane. And so with that, we're no other business. We're in recess until the viewing at Duncan's Glen at 1:30.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.